Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Shaar Habitachon. It's good to be back. Missed you all last week. And very excited to go on. Today, we'll be discussing some interesting questions that have come our way regarding Shaar Habitachon, trusting in God. And we'll pose the questions, and I'm going to pose them to you because I believe that we can get great answers from our listening audience. So, of course, we always start off with giving tzedakah. Let me pull out a coin. I thought I had a coin here. I don't. Oh, wait. I do. Okay, everybody put in a tzedakah. Gedol tzedakah shemikareves es hageulah. And we will open up our Tehillim. We have quite a few people to say Tehillim for. Please put down, good morning Helga, good morning Francesca. Please put down any names that you would like for us to pray today and to do learning in their honor. Here we go. Yaakov Moshe ben Necha, Yehudis bas Sarah, Yitzchak Moshe ben Rachel Reza, Tzipora bas Rachel Miriam, Sarah bas Chana, Tzipora bas Rachel Miriam, Chana Devorah bas Golda Basya, Menucha bas Emmanuel, Shoshana bas Fruma, Sarah bas Rivka, Yisrael ben Esther Golda, Chaya Nechamadina bas Esther Hadassah, Henya Tzipora bas Chaya Yocheved, Tuvia Moshe ben Perol, Liran Bracha bas Shendel Leah. Anybody else? Good morning Arlene. Good morning Barb. Good morning Tova. Good morning, Shirley, Francesca. Hi, everybody. I hope everyone. Good morning, Corinne. Hey, you found it easily today. Terrific. So we're going to say chapter 20 together. Again, if you want anyone's names to be included in our Tehillim or to our learning should be in their merit, definitely put down the names. Here we go. By now, you should know this by heart. Oh, Nachum ben Alta Rivka and Leah bas Chavtziba. Okay, terrific. Any other names here? Okay. Lamanatseach Mizmor LeDavid Yancha Adonai Biyom Tzara. Yisagef Hashem El Yaakov. Yishlach Ezracha Mikodesh Umitzion Yisadeka. Yiskar Kol Mechosecha V'Alaso Yidash Nesela. Yiten L'cha V'Chavavecha V'Chol Atzascha Yimale. Nrana B'Shuasecha V'Shem Eloheinu Nidgol. Yimale Adonai Kol Mashalasecha. Ata yadati ki Yoshi Adonai Mishicho, Yanei Mishbekocha B'Gvuros, Yesha Yemino. Eile v'rechev, ve'eile v'asusim, v'anachnu b'shem Adonai, Eloheinu naskir. Hema karu v'nafolu, v'anachnu kamnu, v'anis odad. And all together, wherever you are, Adonai, Hoshia, Hamelech Yanenu, Biyom Karenu. Lord, deliver us. May the King answer us on the day we call. And this is, we're asking Hashem to listen to our prayers wherever we are, wherever we are, and to answer our prayers. Good morning, Sherelle. Good morning, Rosalie. Good morning, Linda. Davening for Razel. Let me get the name there. Razel Baspina and Shoshana Basfruma. Yes, we already mentioned her name. She should have a complete and quick refuah shalema when she hears news from Israel that she's out of the hospital and she's doing well. I see Sherelle is on. Sherelle, are you the same Sherelle that joined me last night for the class, for the women's class last night? If you are, please give me a thumbs up. So, before we get started, I want to see some love here today. How is your morning? November and the sun is shining in Toronto. It's a glorious 14 degrees. Can I see some love and hearts and thumbs up? It's a great day. We wake up in the morning. We know it's going to be fantastic. We have Bitachon in Hashem. We're learning Bitachon. So of course we trust Hashem is going to give us a great day, whether it's to a doctor appointment, whether it's to an interview for a job, whether it's someone you're meeting for coffee or some news you're waiting for someone, you are going to hear great news today. And you know it's going to be good because Hashem is our God. Hashem only wants to do good for us. Everything is a world of endless possibility, a world of godliness. Hashem always has our back. And I see Corinne says she's feeling better, recovering from COVID. Hello, Helga. Good morning. Good morning, Shirel. Good morning, Leah. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Arlene. Yes, great news is wonderful. Arlene, wonderful to see you all. So today, as I mentioned, we are up to chapter 3 in Shaar Habitachon. But I thought today we would go off a little bit on a tangent. You see, there are a lot of people that are questioning some of the premises of this book. And good questions. So I thought we would take today, for our short class today, and see how we can answer these questions. Hey, good morning, Gail. Good to see you. It will be a class to really delve into questions I think we both have. Because I know these things come to my mind as well as I'm studying Shaar Habitachon, as I'm going along my day and I'm trying to integrate godliness with practicality and trusting in Hashem, but being very real, that dichotomy, and wondering how that can make sense in my life. So this is a question that's come up. If we know Hashem gives us what we need, no matter what, can we mess it up for ourselves if we don't follow Torah mitzvahs? You remember the last class? Hi, good morning, Lauren. The last class we spoke about that Hashem is merciful and he gives us everything that we need because Hashem is only good. But we said in the premises before of Shaar Habitachon that if we believe in others besides God, then God removes his bitachon because God says, hey, they're trusting in the surgeon, they're trusting in the stockbroker, they're trusting in their employer, they're putting all their trust there. So if I'm an afterthought, Hashem says, because it's a world of free will, Hashem says, then let them put the trust there and let them get their mazel and their blessings from there. But what we're learning here is that we put 100% of our trust in God. We go to the doctors, we go for the interviews, we go to work out, we go get our medicine, we go do what we have to do, but our trust is exclusively in God. So the question that's posed there is, if we know Hashem is in charge of everything, can we mess it up if we don't keep Torah mitzvahs? Because trusting in Hashem means, and this was the last class, which I thought it might be a little bit sort of shake things up over here, and you can give me a thumbs up if you believe in that as well. Like Hashem is telling us, you have to follow his Torah and mitzvahs so that you get his blessings. Why? Because if you trust in God, that means you trust that God who created you and God who gave you the Torah that says to you, this is your best direction in life. Follow it and you'll have a life of blessings. But if we choose not to, then do we really have bitachon? Can we ignore our Torah and mitzvot and still have trust? And that's the question I'm posing you. I'd love to see some comments. Can we, this is the question, can we trust in God but not follow the Torah and mitzvot? Okay? I'm opening it up to you. Is it possible to say, no, 100%, I trust in God. I don't keep his mitzvah because that doesn't work with my schedule and it doesn't work with my lifestyle and I wasn't raised with it, but I really, really trust in him. Is that a possibility? Good morning, Barb. Good morning, Elise. Okay. Good morning, Lauren. I'm looking to see for answers because I think that's a great question that someone posed. Can you really say you have 100% trust in God, but we don't keep the Torah mitzvahs? Is that a possibility? And I want to know if is that an oxymoron? I don't know. What do you think? So for those of you who are joining, I will pose the question again. We're learning here that you have to have trust in God to get God's blessings. If you trust in God implicitly, then everything will go right. Everything. You'll catch the plane that you have to catch. Your doctor will give you all the news that you have to hear. Your finances will be good. You still have to go to work. Remember, you still have to make your shtadlus. There's no contradiction. But if you trust in God, it will be good. But now someone says to me, yeah, but if I trust in God, do I have to keep the Torah and his mitzvot? And you say, of course you do, because that's God telling you that's the best thing for you. It's like you go to the mechanic and he says, you need to fix your oil and your engine and your brakes. And you go, nah, I don't think I need that. I'll drive the way it is. No one in their right mind would drive out of the mechanic's shop by ignoring the mechanic. Why? Because the mechanic knows a car better than you know your car. And he knows that you need your help with your oil, your engine, and your brakes. So you're going to ignore the mechanic? No. Even if it's $2,000 and you're really angry, you're still going to dish out the $2,000 because the mechanic knows your car. Hey, does God know more than the mechanic? When God gives us the Torah and says, this mitzvah is best for you. This is the best mitzvah for you, because when you do this mitzvah, you'll bring alignment in your life. You'll bring a stress-free life. You'll have a happier marriage. You'll have more respectful relationships. You'll have children that are more connected to you. But God, what does he know? He doesn't even know as good as the mechanic knows. Can you imagine saying that? So I'm waiting for answers. Okay. So good morning, Lilia. Good. Okay. So Shira says, I think a lot of people live this life. Karine says to a degree. Karine, I'd like you to elaborate on that. Barb says, I would say most probably no. If you trust in God, you probably keep. Let me see. You probably keep some no matter what. Arlene says, I believe you do as much as you can. The more the better. Sometimes we can't do it all. You have to feel it in your heart. Good. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Linda. Linda says, trusting Hashem and following his mitzvahs go hand in hand. Ooh, Linda. Elaborate on that, Linda. What do you mean it goes hand in hand? Because why? Because God knows what's best for us. I had a friend who came to say, Linda says it's a journey. No one can do everything. You know, this, Linda, is exactly connected to what Karine said and Arlene said. There is no one in the world that can say they keep Torah mitzvahs 100%. But what we could say is like this. Bitachon is not everything or nothing. Bitachon is not binary. That's a good word, and I love that. It means bitachon isn't either or. Right? Either you have bitachon or you don't. Either you keep all the mitzvahs or you don't. That's not how Judaism works. Judaism is, bitachon is a spectrum. We know that we want to do all of God's commandments. We know that. We know that our neshama wants that. For those of you who went on the journey with Tanya, we know that our nefesh elokis implicitly only wants to do good. It resents that it says Lashon Hara. It resents when it eats something not kosher. It only wants to hear the right words. It only wants to speak the right things. It only wants to think the right thoughts. We know that. We know that. We just learned Tanya for 2 years. So bitachon is knowing that we want to do everything right. We know that God, the God that we trust tells us what kind of life we have to live. But we're on a journey. And that journey can take 80, 90 years. But the question is, are we on the journey? There are a lot of people that go, nah, Torah is not for me. I like my bacon. I like my Saturdays shopping. I like to go mow the lawn. I just love, eating pork and bacon. I like those, shrimp and that kind of stuff. I know we're not supposed to do it as a Jew, but I love it. And that's the way it's going to be. Or you have a Jew, hey, good morning, Becky. Or you have a Jew that says, I'm struggling with eating lobster. I love it. I'm struggling with it. I know it's wrong. I know it's not for my diet. I want to let go. Does anybody have that struggle? Be honest. Let's go. If you have that struggle and you know what your godly soul tells you, you know what Hashem wants, but our nefesh habahamis, our animal soul, says, come on, all your friends are going. Don't be the sore thumb. Like just go along. And don't bring, I have a friend actually who's watching now. Then when she started her journey on learning more Torah mitzvahs, she used to go with friends to non-kosher restaurants because she didn't want to break up with her friends. And I have to say, she has never broken up from her friends. All the years that she has been a balat shuvah, she has never broken up with any friendships. She takes along a little bag and she eats at the restaurant on a paper plate what she can. She'll have a water, she'll have a tea, she'll take along a rice cake. You're watching, you know who I'm talking about. You're amazing, amazing, amazing woman. And she is growing in her Yiddishkeit every day. And she has that fine line. She won't drive on Shabbat, even though people in her family do. She still keeps her thing and makes it work. Because we are all on a pathway. We are all growing. We are all becoming better. It is not binary. It's not everything or nothing. And the same thing is with Bitachon. We trust in Hashem. We wake up in the morning, we sing with Ani, and we trust that God will give us a great day. And we're working on it. And by the way, every week I hope your Bitachon is getting stronger. It's a muscle. And we have to get that muscle working out. So when we're on that space where we're flexing between Bitachon or wavering in our trust, we work on it and we master it. And even if we work on it once a day and we overcome that skepticism, we've strengthened that muscle of Bitachon, that muscle of strength. I want to quote you a pasuk from Gemara, the Talmud Brachas, page 63. And it goes like this. Ganva apuma machtarta rachmana karya. A thief standing at the gate of his thievery, he's about to break in. What does he do? Anyone remember? What does he do? The thief, right before he's about to break in. He's about to break in. And what does he do? He cries out to Hashem and says, Hashem, help me. Help me so that I can be successful in this geneva, in this theft. What? What? You are about to break God's commandments by stealing, but you're turning to God to help you? What is that? Is that a schizophrenia? Is that someone who has polar opposite personality? Can you elaborate here? Can anyone help me out over here? Why in the world is that thief standing in front of the bank with his tools ready to steal $50 million? And as he's doing it, he screams out, God, help me, it should be a success. What does that mean? By the way, we all do that. We are all not 100% doing Torah mitzvahs every day. So sometimes we're sitting and eating a piece of something that's not kosher, and we go, oh God, please help me. I'm just coming out of the doctor's office. I want to hear good news. But you're sitting here and eating a piece of treif. So what does it mean? What we're learning here, my friends, is the awareness that we are a work in progress. Thank you, Corinne, for that. We are a work in progress. That as we're growing in our mitzvot, we're also growing in our bitachon. And it's a journey that we're doing together. You see, as we're learning Shaar Habitachon, as we're learning this book, we know the theory, because our neshama, which is a piece of God, has it intrinsically. Our neshama trusts in God. But what's the problem? Our mind and our heart sometimes don't get the message. Right? My neshama is absolutely connected. That's when we say the Shema. If you look at the word Shema in a Siddur, it's very interesting. The ayin from Shema And then, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. So the ayin from the word Shema and the dalid from the word aid, the echad spell aid. Aid means a witness. Our neshama, our soul, is a witness that God is everything. Right? That's what the word Shema Yisrael. When you say Shema, how many of you say Shema when you go to sleep at night? Share it with us. Come on, be vulnerable. Share with us. Do you say Shema at night before you go to sleep? Okay, I see a few yeses, a bunch of thumbs up. Good. Do we have any more thumbs up? Good. Okay, so you see that a lot of us say Shema, but do we know what we're saying? Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Listen, Israel, the Lord is my God, the Lord is one. What are we saying? Saying Shema, Hashem, we trust in you. We have Habitachon that you are the beginning, the middle, the end of everything. And the ayin and the dalid in that word are witnessing that we know that we are the witness that Hashem is in charge of everything. So when we wake up in the morning and we say the Shema, we go to sleep at night, we say the Shema. Yes, we say Shema in the morning as well. That is our voice echoing the soul that's saying, my dear Goldie, or my dear Naomi, or my dear Rosalie, or my dear Corinne, and all of you, I am a witness that Hashem created the world, and He's here every minute watching you and interested in you and sends His hashgacha pratis on you and is involved with you and is at your side every single second of your life. That is what we say when we say Shema. So the question is like this: do we have a split personality? Because sometimes I don't follow Hashem's Torah, but I still have Habitachon. We say no. But as long as you're on the journey of completing and accomplishing more of the mitzvahs, that we're not saying, well, God, I get your message. You gave me the mitzvah. Do you think I should do it? Nah. That's a problem. But if we say, Hashem, I'm learning more and more about your mitzvot. I'm learning more and more about your Torah. And I want to start keeping more of it. And I do. And every day I do a little bit more. And that allows me to have the strength to believe in Hashem, and Hashem to look down and say about this person, she trusts in me. She is implicitly trusting in me. Not like the Ganav that every day goes out to steal and every day he prays to God. That's an oxymoron. And we don't want to live such a life. We want to live a life that's consistent with our soul, so that our soul feels complete. And last night on the class, we were doing our class on Monday nights, the first Monday of every month. We have a class now based on the book of Michal Ushman, who's written a book on What Would I Do If I Wasn't Afraid? And it's all based on Tanya. And one of the things that she says is that she suffered and struggled with anxiety all her life, until recently she started studying Tanya. And suddenly she realized that the struggle that she's having within her is not anxiety. It's a struggle that all of us have called the neshama. And the neshama wants to accomplish things. And when the neshama makes you feel anxious, it's a message that the neshama says, let's find out what's missing in your life and let's do more mitzvot. And believe it or not, this works. When a person has anxiety, they're struggling with something, they have to speak to a mentor, and I would say speak to a rabbi or rebbitzin, because it's your neshama that has anxiety. When you have a problem with your tooth, who do you go to? Not a rabbi. When you have a problem with your tooth, you go to a dentist. When you have a problem with your heart, you go to a cardiologist. When you have a problem with your eyes, you go to an optometrist. When you have a problem with your neshama, with anxiety, you go to a rav or a rebbitzin or a mentor. And you have to everyone has to find someone that they know, that they're close to. and speak about your anxiety. And so much of that, if you read this book, you'll also see that she makes an awareness of why is it that the neshama has anxiety, because the neshama is a flame, and the flame wants to go up to Hashem. And as long as we stifle that flame, the flame is going to struggle and going to have anxiety. Another book that I'm going to recommend, and many of you already have it, is my husband's book, The 7 Conversations with Jerry. Why is this such an amazing book? It's not a book just for, feeling the love out there. If you have the book, give me a thumbs up. What's so amazing about this book? It's not just a book if you have suffering a loss or you're suffering with bereavement. It's a book that explains the soul. And this book gives clarity to your soul so that you don't suffer from split personality. You don't suffer from duality. You're in line, and when your neshama is in line, you have peace and tranquility. It doesn't mean you're not going to have bumps along the way, but every time you have a bump, you get up and you continue. You know the story, I told you the story of Feta Mendel all the time, my uncle that was thrown into Siberia and into the Gulag. So there was a fellow that was in jail with him that used to perform at the circus. And it's very interesting because everyone that was there in the jail, there were all kinds of people there. There were lowlifes. I spoke about last night, the Cossacks. But then there were also people that were, philosophers and political prisoners. And there were many, many great thinkers and scholars. And there were also different kinds of people. And this one was a circus performer. And he used to do the tightrope walking. And he promised Feta Mendel that when we get out one day, I'm going to show you how I do my work. Feta Mendel was excited because he's never made it to a circus. Not living in communist Russia, he didn't have too many opportunities. And he's sitting, one day it was a holiday in Russia. They gave the prisoners a day off, which meant they didn't have to work that day, but they were still in jail. So this prisoner was able to manage to get a rope and connect it from one side of the fences to the other. And he said to all the prisoners, today is your lucky day. I'm going to perform the tight rope walking. And so they work hard to get this together. And then he stands at the edge and he's balancing across the tightrope. And my uncle Feta Mendel is blown away because Feta Mendel doesn't look at it through the eyes of a child. He looks at it through the eyes of an adult. How's he doing it? So he sees that he's walking across, but then he has to turn around and come back. He's watching to see, is he going to fall at that moment? The moment that he's not concentrating, is he going to fall? Because he notices that even when everyone's clapping and cheering, this performer doesn't look down. This performer doesn't say, woo, give me the applause. No, he's focusing. So Feta Mendel notices that. And then the performer turns around and he walks back. When he gets down, he runs over to Feta Mendel and goes, no, what do you think? So Feta Mendel says, I need to understand. I noticed that when you're walking, you were focusing, and that's how you didn't fall. Well, what happened when you turned around? Didn't you lose it for a minute? Didn't you lose it? Didn't you lose your whole balance? How did you not fall off? He says, that's the whole trick. The kunz is that when you turn around, you do it very quick, and you immediately align yourself to the other edge, the end of the rope, so that you can put your gaze and focus completely. Because if for 1 second you lose your focus, you're going to fall. And that is the way it is with our Habitachon. We have to be very focused. Along the way, we're going to have people that are going to tell us, what are you believing in God so much? Get real. Stop putting your trust in Hashem. Stop with the Habitachon. Stop hakamiyat shining with Torah mitzvahs. Stop. But you know that that's keeping you from falling off. That's keeping you on the tightrope. It's keeping you from managing and existing and flourishing and thriving. I had a friend the other day. She came to pick something up at my house. And on the way out, she stopped looking at some pictures of my kids, my married children and their children. And she goes, you know, Goldie, you did it right. I said, well, you have beautiful children too. She goes, no, you did it right. You did it the right way. You did it the whole way. You didn't waver. And she's right. As long as we're a work in progress, because none of us are 100% with our Torah mitzvahs, but every day we wake up and we try. And every day we wake up and we're committed. And every day we wake up and we do more. And if we sometimes lose our balance, we still have our focus. You know, when the tightrope walker walks, he goes like this, and sometimes, oh my God, like that, and you think he's going to fall, but then he gets himself straightened out because he's focusing. You and I have to focus. To focus on Hashem. We have to focus on our Torah. We have to align ourselves with our neshama and tell ourselves whenever we're scared or worried or anxious, say the Torah's got the answers. And guess how you can get that, my friends? By what we're doing now. By learning Shaar Habitachon. That's the way you're going to increase your bitachon. Learning it. You know, how do you lose weight? By being in line with a nutritionist or by filling out an app that tells you how to fill up your calories. My son got me hooked on this thing. I think it's called Fitness Pal or something. And every day you have to put down what you ate. You have someone that that's keeping you in line. You have a trainer. They make you wake up at 6:15 in the morning. Anybody here have a trainer? Or anybody here go to work out to a gym and you have a trainer at the gym? Let me see those thumbs up. And what does the trainer do? Does she let you just go, woo, that was enough, I did 5 minutes? The trainer makes you work, and they push you, and they stretch you, and they motivate you, and they keep you going. Why? Because if you want to strengthen yourself, you want to strengthen your core or your muscles or get healthier, you got to follow a regimen. And that's the Torah. Hashem gave us a gift, the greatest gift of our life. It's not a suggestion, it's not a recommendation, it's not an alternate opinion. It's the God who created the world, the Shema Yisrael. He knows what's best for us. And if we know that Hashem's got our back, we show Hashem, we put our trust in Him. And it's like a duality. We trust in Hashem, and we trust Hashem's mitzvahs are the right way. So as Corinne said at the beginning, we are a work in progress. Becky says yes, also with the kids. Barbara says the Shema. Pauline, good morning. Elaine, good morning. Deborah, I want to wish you all a beautiful week. And I'd like to recommend that if you feel that this class can help anyone, just press share. I feel like it's a gift. This book, Shaar Habitachon, is a gift. And I feel like it's selfish for us to keep it to ourselves. People that we know are struggling today with everything, whether it's COVID or health or finances or marriage, relationships, children. So many people are struggling. If you know someone that could benefit from this, share. Just press share. And let them also understand the greatest gift we have is to believe in our Hashem. Bitchu b'Hashem adei ki b'cha Hashem. Because we trust in Hashem. Because you, Hashem, we trust. We say that in our prayers every day. Wishing you a fantastic week. Take care.